Welcome back to some more Let's Play Cave Story. Last time, we found our way to the Sand Zone. We also ended up taking on some pretty interesting bosses, including Omega. Now, we'll be progressing. So, once you beat Omega and you open up the way forward, which is through those blocks way at the beginning, we're gonna want to head... Uh-oh. There's that frickin' thing in the sand I mentioned. They are no fun. Be careful. But, like I was trying to say, we need to make our way over to where those stones were. That will open up the, they are opened up now, to the way forward. Another thing I would also recommend you do is go back to where we fought Curly Brace. Within, if you talk to the little Mimiga that were there, you can actually pick up the dog after they recommend you go somewhere. I feel like they designed it in such a way that you would fight that boss not knowing where to go, and then end up talking to them, which I think is pretty good design. So, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. These guys are rough. Of that, I will not lie. Luckily, we still have our mighty fireball, which, thank goodness. Oh, I'm going to regret that. See, if you're fast enough, you can actually dodge those guys. Still, I would recommend avoiding them like the plague. They are no friends of yours or mine. Gosh, the fireball is so good for this segment. There we go. And just like that, we more or less are back. We'll use this as a nice little chance to rebuild our weapon level. And we should be more than good. To believe, yep, here are the blocks that move by beating Omega. Now, ultimately, while you can talk to the Mimiga that are with Curly, they'll tell you to go somewhere, which we'll see in a minute, and we couldn't have gone there yet, so I figure beating the boss, then coming back, is a better option. Nya, I want to eat some tasty fish, nya. Well, we don't have that, unfortunately. Our real mother was killed long ago by the robot, and she's the one who raised us, even before we could open our eyes. Yeesh. That's kind of grim. Be careful with those sand crocs. They'll bite suddenly if you dare walk directly on the sand, and they'll take a big chunk out of you. Yeah, we've seen that. Are you looking for red flowers? The old lady named Jenka might know something about them. Oh yeah, one thing. If you go to her house, you should take the dog next to the bed. Look in the next room. So yeah, by talking to all of them, they will instruct you to pick up the pooch. You want to bring them along? Absolutely. Now, the nice thing about Cave Story Plus is that in this version, you can hold more than one of the dogs, which, thank goodness. In the original, not being able to hold more than one dog made this a very tedious segment of the game because you had to do some intense backtracking. Not only would you have to go all the way back where we just came from, you'd have to go back there. You would then have to come through here where there's another little paw print and find the dog that is hidden up here. This entire segment is brutal. Luckily, there is no gator down here, but there is a nice little life capsule. It increases your life by 5. Very nice. And in the treasure chest, it's a dog. Picked up a dog. Woohoo! So yeah, that's 3. How many more are there? Well, I'll let you know. In total, there are 5 dogs. You can actually get all of them before you go talk to Jenka once you find her. It's not a big deal if you do or don't, but eventually you will need all 5 of them. So keep that in mind. These guys are not my favorite enemies to fight. Oh, and of course, when I use the weapon that needs the levels, they give health. So yeah, here's Jenka's house. I guess let's head on in. Hey there. Oh, that's my doggy. Gave her the dog. You've returned him to me.
That was very nice of you. What? The red flower?
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Auntie?
Oh, it's you, Balrog. You look good. How's my stupid daughter been lately?
Ha! Stupid daughter. You mean Misery? She's also fine. A new master has appeared. This time, the surface will finally be ours.
Are you two still trying to do that?
I'm not here to cause you any trouble. I just came by to pick up the key to the warehouse. You know, the warehouse with the flower seeds.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Balrog.
Is that so? You're just pretending that you don't know? I see now. You're going to betray us, then. Is that it? You'll be sorry.
A new master. It must be another idiot at it yet again. About my dogs, I have four more still. My little pups. But these legs of mine are so very weak. Sorry for the inconvenience, but would you mind finding the rest of my dogs for me?
We certainly will. And while we could drop off the other two, I do think it's really funny having a giant stack of dogs. You don't have to do it, and obviously you can only do it in the Plus version, but it is really funny if you get a giant stack of the dogs. Also, too, right here is a very lovely refill. So if you need health, ammunition, stock up. Oh. There's one of the dogs, but as you can see, there's no real way to get there. At least so it looks. So we're going to have to keep our eye out for that. This segment is not fun. Sand Zone Warehouse, East. Huh. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, say hi to these guys. Frankly, this is where the bubbling comes in very handy. Its range will be a saving grace. If you don't have it maxed out, you probably want to do that for this segment, because otherwise these enemies are a pain to deal with. The wide range of it makes it ideal for dealing with them. And once you beat all the birds and drop the skulls down, you can use the fireball to deal with them. Super useful. Now, something nice is that luckily down there in the sand, there aren't any of the crocs, so you don't got to worry about that, thank goodness. They're probably one of my least favorite enemies in the entire game, just for how absolutely annoying they are. There's worse things later on, sure, but for this point in the game, ow, they certainly aren't the easiest things to fight. So, I'm not a huge fan of them. Still, what would the game be without any difficulty, huh? So, it makes sense that they're here. Otherwise, I believe if I can actually platform, my goodness, we want to come up this way because there's more paw prints. Where there's paw prints, there's puppies. At least, usually. Hi there. Oh. Yeah, he's not going to make it easy on us. I would recommend saving and using your map. If you notice, this little area here with the skull is a sand pit. Should you go down in there, you're going to regret it. This is also another reason I like having the dogs right now, is because they show you where you can jump, which is super great. Oh no! Here I am doing the platforming correctly and then failing last second. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, if you just try to walk forward right here, you'll just drop down. So jump up, grab the little dog, and don't jump down like an idiot. And once you've successfully grabbed your fourth dog at this point, just head on out. Now the big downside is once you head on out, you're going to have to deal with all the enemies again. Still, the fireball should make this cake, especially with you being well and above them. Worst case, if you need to, use the bubbling, it'll help you out. Because yeah, these birds are quite obnoxious. But it does pretty good work against them. Now, ideally, if you kill just the birds, you can knock all the skulls down and then use them to level up. If you made an oopsies like me and dropped all your levels from the croc in the sand. Look, it's more common than you think. Here we go. Ooh. Ow. I would like to level up my polar star again. Thank you very much. There we go. Whew. I gotta be careful. I'm getting a little low on health. We should be all right, though. Ah, there's a lovely health pickup. And I want to say the last dog is just right over here. Yeah, there he is. Now, he's a little bit mean. When you get near him, he's going to start running. So, there we go. I'd just like to get near him and then just start mashing down. And that should get him for you. It's not so bad. But yeah, look at this giant stack of dogs. It's so funny. You can get all 5 of them, but I figured we should talk to Jenka first. So, while we won't see the 5 stack of dogs, we can at least see the 4 stack, which is still pretty good. Still, let's go return the pups, shall we? Oops. Go right on up. Luckily, these big skull monsters are so large, so they won't fall through 1 gaps, which is very nice. Hey there, we're back.
You're fast. This is certainly one of my beloved little dogs.
Gave her the dog.
By the way, you must be a soldier from the surface. It's been a long time since those robots, just like you, came to this island. They were responsible for the deaths of so many defenseless Mimiga, for the lives of the brave men and women who tried defending the Mimiga. Due to effects of consuming the forbidden red flower, the cornered Mimiga became utterly rabid. They fought back viciously against the robot that had invaded their island. Who knows? Had there been no red flower, it's very possible that the Mimiga on this island might have been annihilated. 3 more left. I know you can do it.
And we already have.
Oh, definitely. That one's mine.
Gave her the dog.
Thank you so much. This one makes 3. Have you ever seen an enraged Mimiga? Eating the red flower will make me stronger. Great many of the Mimiga believed this and chose to eat the red flower. Then, and only then, did they fight back against the battalions of robots. But do you know what happens afterwards to a Mimiga filled with such rage? It was so terrible. Perhaps they couldn't control themselves. Well, most of the Mimiga who consumed the red flower were never to be seen again. They went missing. I heard a rumor that they supposedly made it down to the surface, where the humans lived. The thought of the enraged Mimiga anywhere close to the surface, with humans, it's really true. Do you yet realize it? Do you realize how dangerous the red flower actually is? 2 more pups. You are the popular one. My dogs aren't very fond of troublemakers either. I really do appreciate all your hard work so far.
And we give her the dog.
It's the warehouse key that you're after. The same warehouse that contains all the red flower seeds in it. It doesn't matter to me who you are, understand? I can't give you the key to the warehouse. Sorry. Opening the warehouse, that would be foolishly allowing an encore of the same tragedy from before. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only 1 more to go. Indeed. That's the last one.
Gave her the dog.
You've done me a great favor gathering my pups. Come back in a bit. I'll have something to reward you for your effort.
All right. Sounds nice to me. Still, let's save our game. I wonder if it's been a bit yet. Hey there.
You've done me a great favor gathering my pups. Come back in a bit.
So yeah, You can't just come back immediately. So, oh well. I suppose... Huh? Well, I suppose a bit's been now.
I have the warehouse key. Alrighty then, see ya.
Wait.
Oh. Well, that's no good.
Oh, it's you. The key to the warehouse was stolen by Balrog. Please stop them. They'll unleash rabid Mimiga, possessed by the red flower against the surface. Wait, please take this with you.
Obtained a life pot. This is an incredibly important item if you are trying to get the final ending. Or, well, the true ending.
Use it and your life will be fully restored. But just once.
There's a very notable segment when you are trying to get the final ending, and for anyone who has ever done it before, you know this part. Ideally, you will save this for almost the entire game. It is just that valuable. Still, it's good to have it. Luckily, too, you can't miss it. So, as long as you play the game and actually have the intentions of finishing it, you won't miss it. So, that's nice. At least it's not some super hidden esoteric item. That would kind of blow. Well, let's get to that warehouse, shall we? Now, if you want to go quickly, you can kind of just run through. I don't know if I'd recommend it. All these bones are a little much to deal with, but you'll probably be okay. Just make sure you watch your weapon level if you do get hit a little too much. Yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing I was worried about. Still, if you lose it, feel free to just take out some of the guys up above, and you should be able to get it back just fine. Come on, baby. That's the only bad thing about the bubbling, is that, frankly, it is not the most accurate weapon in the game. It's good because of its spread, but it's also bad because it only spreads. You can't, gosh darn it, you can't really aim it, at least not as well as you'd probably hope. That's its biggest downside. Plus, I mean, it does have ammo, so if you're trying to, play efficiently, oh goodness, I have to make that jump up there, don't I? Well, this is awkward. But, if you're trying to play in such a way that you want to just run and gun and never stop shooting, the Polar Star is probably what you want to use. Which, hey, it's a pretty reliable weapon. Thing is, it just doesn't pump out, the biggest spread damage you could ever want. So, if you want versatility, you probably want to use your other weapons. But, I mean, at this point in the game, you probably have figured that out. Still, feel free to experiment and figure out what you like. You can absolutely play the game with just the Polar Star. It's very possible. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it. So, keep that in mind. Otherwise, for scenarios like this, the Fireball's ideal. I do love this game's arsenal. It's really diverse, and frankly, I think it's a lot of fun using all the different weapons and tools that you have. While it may not feel super intuitive at first if you've played other games, namely because the UI is a little small and you have to switch on the fly, it's still not that bad. Plus, with a game like this, you really need to, pay attention to what you're doing, because you can, well, frankly, you can get your butt handed to you quicker than you'd think. It's happened to me more than once. And I mean, heck, you've seen it where one little mistake costs me dearly. Overall, though, at least right now, the game is pretty forgiving. So don't be afraid to mess around and figure out what you like. Otherwise, careful about those spikes up there. You can jump into them from certain angles and basically kill yourself. I don't think they're insta-kill, but they will hurt, so keep that in mind. Also, if you notice, those holes in the pillar there mark spots where you yourself can jump through, as well as the enemies. So keep that in mind. This is a area where, frankly, the Polar Star might be your friend, because you need constant firepower. Still, the bubbling does help. I may also recommend the missile launcher if you want to get rid of these birds as quick as possible. It's not the easiest segment. Now, if you're looking for high power, the fireball will certainly give you a hand. Still, overall, the bubbling is ideal for dealing with anything flying. See? Super useful. This looks like the warehouse. Now, if you're keen-eyed, you see that you can do some platforming. Which, you probably want to do, because there's a nice refill and a save. So, I would recommend grabbing these. Well, you don't have to. It's certainly going to give you an edge for what's to come. Still, guess let's go.
Great, Doctor. All the red flower seeds have been harvested.
Good. By the way, the flowers blooming there. Are they the demon flowers?
Yes, sir.
Well, well. Such an ominous flower. Unexpected, to say the least.
My great Doctor, would you like to eat one?
No, that won't be necessary. Well, why don't we sample it by using a mimiga instead?
Yes, I agree.
Oh no, it's Toroko.
Huh? Here? What?
Hey, where are you going?
Balrog, make her eat a red flower.
Got it.
Oh no.
Please don't.
Eat it. Eat it.
Stop now.
Oh, it's King. Whoa.
Toroko, are you all right?
King? Oh, my head.
No, you're that doctor. Indeed, I am the doctor, and your new leader. I should say it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Tell me, is there something you'd like to do with that sword of yours? I'm going to kill you. Oh. Without the power of the red flower, they are weak. Oh, you're that persistent soldier from the surface. You have perfect timing. They're all yours. A small gift from me to you. There's no need for me or for you to thank me. Handle them, will you?
Uh-oh. Yeah, Toroko's not exactly feeling well. Ooh. Ow. Yeah, careful. She does some pretty big damage. Do not be afraid to use your missile launcher on this. While she may have been a friend, she is no longer. Careful with the blocks she throws as they spawn little flower enemies. Admittedly, the fireball is actually pretty good for this fight, namely for when she's on the floor. Otherwise, when she's not, then use what you got. The bubbling can also help as it takes care of the little flower guys very effectively. Still, if you get hit, you're looking at some mighty level downs there. It's not the easiest fight in the world, as you can probably tell. She's got good aim with those blocks, let me tell you. Woo! Ow. I jumped right into her. I'm actually looking very low on health. Woo! Yeah, this is admittedly not a fight I'm a super big fan of, because I'm not very good at it. Woo! Well, we died. Want to retry? Sure! So yeah, that's what it looks like when you game over. Luckily, it'll just revert you to wherever your last save was, so if you get your butt handed to you, well, you've seen. Now, if you want to skip a cutscene, you can hold X. It'll skip through all the dialogue very quickly, which is super nice. So, yeah. if you oopsies like me, don't be afraid to just retry. That is the one nice thing about the game, and I think one of its biggest saving graces is that it'll let you retry. It's not like you have a one and done scenario ever. So that's nice. Ow. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing even worse than I think I was last time. Oh my goodness. You know, I might just try to abuse the fireball getting real close like that. It would be ideal if I didn't just run into her. Oh, goodness. Alright, third time's the charm. Which, I'm not exactly the happiest to admit that, yes, this is the third time we're having to fight her. But look, some of the fights in this game are very difficult. There's no shame in if you know, struggle a bit and have to really learn them. That's a big thing with this game, is taking the time to learn fights is kind of really important. Especially if you're playing hard mode. Woo. But yeah, see, once you get her in a nice rhythm, she's not all that bad. It's just, you know, if you're not expecting how she moves, you might struggle. Now, if you can get real close to her like that and just jam on the fireball, that's probably going to be how you're going to fight her the easiest. On baby. Woo. Here's the jump. There we go. There's some nice damage. The only big downside to the fireball is that if you've launched the projectiles, you can't cancel them. So keep that in mind when you're fighting poor old Toroko here. Ugh. Yeah, ideally, if she does that little stop and throw, that's your ideal time to really jam some damage. But there, see? After 3 tries, I mean, what? I did that basically without getting hit? Not bad. Unfortunately, we defeated Rabid Toroko. And we unlocked a costume. Now, because I did some practice, there have been other costumes we've unlocked, such as King's costume and a couple others. Oh.
Ugh, I can't help you anymore. Will you avenge me?
And from King, we obtained the blade. Well, that's not ideal. Well, guess there's nothing else for it. Still, we did a lot today, even if it was kind of unfortunate. Next time we play Cave Story, we'll figure out what to do next. Till then, as always, I've been Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.